comes across. So yeah, I'll just leave it as that. I'm no fashion expert, but can discern a special piece of cloth when I see one. And that's what this man had on. And he's no model of perfection, nor is he expected to be. But he can model a T to a T indeed, and you can see this from afar off. This material made him fly. He's a lad in special cloth, who has the full concentration of a congregation. Standing on the altar, altered into a runway for him to catwalk. No wonder this platform is the norm for a cheater. See, he's a smooth talker. And with words of swayed, the naive are swayed, persuaded to engage in philosophies that are filled with emptiness. And pettiness will make you say, and nod your head when he speaks without even thinking. Because you're so shallow, you think everything's deep. Even manly traditions in contradiction to Christ. He's not even properly teaching you the Bible. He's just imposing an opinion based on culture, which can cultivate cultism. But that ism isn't biblical, is it? Self-imposed religion can have the appearance of wisdom, just read Colossians 2. But the problem is, it's not based on honouring God. It's based on honouring you. As if what you wear, eat, or any work you do in your own strength contributes to you being saved. Do you even understand salvation by grace through faith? Ephesians 2:8. Probably not. You're so focused on this man and his material, you've made the truth immaterial. His suave silk-like facade is a mesh that feels good to your flesh funny. Spiders produce silk to make webs. I guess you're caught in a trap. Are you not bugged by that? Probably not. So long as you believe by touching the hem of his garment, you'll receive some kind of healing sign or wonder. No one dare bear arms or biblical qualms against him, because that cloth makes him a vested interest, and that vest is bulletproof. Peter had to publicly deal with Paul's rebuke, and they were both apostles. Just read Galatians 2. Yet you say, touch not God's anointed, when people oppose this man peacefully in order to defend the truth. What's wrong with you? All because of that special cloth. As if the Bible doesn't tell you false prophets will arise and deceive many with their signs. And on judgment day, they will say, Lord, Lord, did we not do this and that in your name? But he will say, depart from me. I never knew you. Denying them access into heaven's gates. But your gazes are on his wolfish nature. You're dazed by his sheep's clothing and deceived. The wool's been pulled over your eyes, now you're a blind pupil that's being fleeced. Christ had to appear like a criminal before Pilate, and also admits to having nowhere to lay his head. Yet your man of the cloth thinks it's okay to boast in his mansion and jet. Does that even make sense? No. But that clean shirt he's got on has made you blind. You can't even see he's a fraud committing white-collar crime. I mean, it's biblical, a labourer deserves his wages, I agree. And I encourage giving for the work of ministry. But be wise. In the last days, men will be lovers of money, having a form of godliness but denying his power. From such people turn away. That's 2 Timothy 3, 1-5. But why would you be surprised? As if you're not told Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. But you're so focused on the fact he's well tailored, you're led by his tuxedo. Even though he's the trailblazer of another gospel, what do? You follow suit. When did being biblical and comparing his words with the word become a practice that's ancient? Titus 1 and 1 Timothy 3 clearly outline what this man should have as qualifications, yet you hail this man in the cloth, when really he's a fabrication. The way that so-called special cloth is knit should feel like knits to your flesh, enough to make you nitpicky. Ensuring any man of the cloth you heed has a texture in line with the text. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking for perfect men. Just men that point you to God the Saviour, who wore flesh and humbled himself to the point of humiliating death. Wearing a crown of thorns, soldiers even gambled for his clothes. But my faith isn't empty, because on the third day he rose, with a countenance like lightning, clothing as white as snow. Whatever the weather, these men should remind you that he runs the show. So self-righteous filthy rags pale in comparison to the cross. But put on Christ and you'll epitomize wearing special clothes.